Let's take a look at the polling mode for the SQL query binding. Essentially, the polling mode dictates how often the query is going to execute. So here I have a label. I'm going to bind the text property of the label to a SQL query. I'm going to type in a really simple query that's going to select the current time. So it's select current underscore timestamp. Of course, I can specify which database connection to run that query through, and then I can specify the polling mode. The polling mode exists on all the database binding types, so DB browse as well as SQL query. There are three modes: off, relative, and absolute. Off means the query is going to run once when the window's opened. Relative means it's going to poll at a project space rate, which is 5 seconds by default. You can, over on the right hand side, specify a number of seconds to add or subtract to that base rate. Absolute, you can specify any rate that you want, so it can poll every 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 30 seconds, whatever you type in here on the right hand side. Let's first look at the polling mode off, which is going to run once. So if I use this type and press OK, I'll see the date come back, and right now it's 9:32 and 25 seconds. It is not updating because it only ran once. If I close the window here in the designer and then reopen it, I will see now it's at 9:32 and 35 seconds. So it ran once and that was it. The second polling mode is to run or to poll at a project space rate, and that's the relative, which by default is 5 seconds. So if I use this and press OK, I'll see this date update every 5 seconds. Right now it's 49. In a few seconds it'll be 54 and so on. So it's polling every 5 seconds right now. I can change that base rate by going up here to Project, Properties, and going to the Client Timing section to change the polling base rate, which is number of milliseconds here, so it's 5,000, which is 5 seconds. So every query that is using the relative rate, you can change that rate in one place. That's what's nice about the relative polling mode. The last mode is to basically specify your own rate, where you can do anything you want. So I'm going to type in over here 1 second, so I can see it update every 1 second. I'm going to go ahead and press OK, and now I can see the date coming back every 1 second. Now it's important to note that if you have queries that are polling, if you have 100 clients open that have the same window open at the same time, and they're all doing a polling query, say every second, you're going to have 100 queries running to your database every second. So really be cautious on all the queries you put in there that are polling. But there are times where you do want that screen to automatically update from values in the database.